Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. People of the world, welcome to Send It Rising. My name is Kellen Kausman, president of Send It Rising Internet Marketing. Today on the show, we're talking about 30 billion daily views for YouTube Shorts. For longtime listeners of the show, you know that YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook Reels, both business and personal, are all basically the same thing. YouTube is not going to take this lying down. 30 billion daily views is no joke. Main story of the day. Today we're also going to be talking about how Google will now enable users to request removals for search results that contain personal information. There was a lawsuit where George Defteros successfully sued Google, saying you need to remove this libelous, inaccurate content about me from your search results. And for the first time in history, they had to pay $40,000 to George Defteros. We're going to talk about that. Waffle House employee posts TikTok revealing how much money she makes. Quote, I believe this 100%. A lot of folks are sharing how much money they make. Many times it's a humble brag. You'll see a lot of these tech industry people who will look at the camera and go, I make about $400,000 a year. It's always some ludicrous sum of money. And to me, it just feels like bragging. This is also bragging, apparently, because Waffle House employees make more than perhaps you think they would. We'll dive into what that means. Facebook had a good day. The Meta stock is soaring, and we're going to dive into why that is. TikTok is eating Facebook from the inside, so we're going to have a little bit of a left and right understanding of what Facebook could do or how TikTok might be affecting them. They were hoping that their Reels rollout was going to go really well. It turns out it didn't go as well as expected. We're going to cover that. And there was a viral TikTok that led to a government changing an exit. So we're starting to see people complain on social media, and when it goes viral, even local governments are understanding that they have to make a change. Let's dive into the first story of the day. YouTube Shorts now up to 30 billion daily views. This article from Social Media Today, all articles that we use as sources in the show are right there in the description if you want more or you want to see where we are getting our information. Of course, this was always coming, according to the article, but this week, as part of its latest earnings report, Google has confirmed that it's launched an initial test of ads running between YouTube Shorts clips. It's TikTok-esque short-form video reels. Now, YouTube Shorts was a bit of a joke when it first started. It was clearly just copying Instagram and TikTok, but this is the future of marketing. These short-form videos, I call them reels because Facebook and Instagram call them reels. It's just short-form video. Yes, of course, they're going to be incorporating ads into this content. The article continues, according to Google, Shorts is now averaging over 30 billion daily views. That's a significant increase from the 5 trillion all-time Shorts views that YouTube reported back in February. That underlines the rising popularity of short-form video content. People are loving it, and the reason they're loving it is because the algorithms themselves are much better than they used to be, which is to say, when you're on TikTok, and you probably already know this, the algorithm is going to feed you what you love. And what's so interesting to me is that Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts are applications that I'm using semi-regularly because I'm posting on them, and then I will find myself using them. My feed on each of these platforms is different. On YouTube, I get a lot of boxing, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson related content. On TikTok, I get a lot of stand-up comedy. On Facebook, I get more general popular stuff. And so it's so interesting to see my behavior on the different reels, and when I engaged with them has changed the content that they serve me. And I almost never see an identical video across all these platforms. Reels are the present. According to the article, the risk is that these platforms can't establish solid revenue pathways for their top stars. then eventually, much like what happened with Vine, these top creators will gravitate towards the platforms that do offer more stable, lucrative funding arrangements. Let's be fair, we've all been working for Zuckerberg since the dawn of Facebook. When we posted on MySpace, we were working for MySpace. When you create content like I'm doing right now, I am working for YouTube. I'm working for Facebook. I am a content creator. And if any of these platforms is going to give me more love, attention, or money, I am obviously going to spend more time on those. And so these platforms are going to have to play that game, as well as hold on to all this data. If you think about short-term video, what you have to understand is the vast majority of videos that are placed onto these platforms simply are not viewed by more than 20 people, 50 people, 100 people. And now YouTube is responsible for holding that gigabyte of data for how long? Forever. So they're really in the database. I mean, it seems like they're in the business of creating these amazing websites, when in reality, they're in the business of storing an enormous amount of data. Moving on, socialmediatoday.com. Google will now enable users to request removals for search results that contain personal information. Huge change. Google's expanding its appeals process. As explained by Google, quote, under this new policy expansion, people can now request removals of additional types of information when they find it in search results, including personal contact information like phone number, email address, or physical address. The policy also allows for the removal of additional information that may pose a risk for identity theft, such as confidential login credentials when it appears in search results. Now, this is very different from someone writing something libelous about you. This does not address that. That being said, there are so many people who have an ex out there who is not mentally well, and when their address and phone number is out there for anyone to grab, this is a problematic. People have enemies, and so it is the right step for Google to do this. I applaud them. The article continues, this could have a range of implications for a range of sites, with some social networks potentially having to reassess their listings to ensure they comply with these new regulations. That is very interesting. So if Facebook is putting this information out there, they could come and butt heads with this new Google policy. Google has long provided the capacity to request censorship of certain search listings, according to the article, quote, on Google search, we have a set of policies that allow people to request the removal of certain content from search, with a focus on highly personal content that, if public, can cause direct harm to people. It's tough. Now, granted, they have all the money in the world, so can we really be too sad about the problems that Google is solving? Waffle House employee posts TikTok revealing how much money she makes. I believe this 100% yahoo.com. How much does Waffle House pay its workers? So interesting. So people are going online, as they said before, they're talking about how much they're making. Usually they're bragging. This particular video just shows tips of up to $100 from all these Waffle House employees. The TikToker's last name is Taylor. Quote, Taylor's clip is part of an ever-growing trend on the app in which users post transparently about their jobs and pay. Other TikTokers have shared similar videos, including NFL water boys, notaries, and even online trivia hosts. Although Taylor's post doesn't specify exactly how much she makes, it does make it clear she's happy with her situation. Someone talked about making $1,000 to $1,400 a week, which may be a lot more than you think a person at Waffle House may be making. And there you go. It is so funny. Reality is stranger than fiction sometimes. Facebook parent Meta's stock is soaring today. Here's why. Finance.yahoo.com. Shares of Facebook parent Meta soared in early trading Thursday on the back of its Q1 earnings report. I've been talking about investing in Netflix, which just dropped 70%. Meta, I was very interested in jumping in. Didn't pull the trigger. Not sure if I still will, but interesting that the shares of the social media giant were up more than 14%, despite a miss on revenue expectations, according to the article. It missed on revenue estimates, with analysts expecting the company to bring in $28.4 billion rather than $27.9 billion it reported. But the company saw better adjusted earnings per share than initially projected. This is the big piece, though. Meta's app is adding users, with a 4% increase to 1.96 billion daily active users after the app lost 1 million last quarter. Quote, consistent with our checks, the quarter was below expectations due to geopolitical concerns, continued iOS privacy challenges, and transition to Reels. There it is. Reels, ladies and gentlemen, is a huge piece of the puzzle. This transition to Reels requires the Facebook infrastructure to change. I mean, they have to store a lot of data in order to keep that much video on the platform. But there you have it. Big jump on Facebook. I'm feeling more bullish about them than I was just a few days ago. TikTok is eating Facebook from the inside. Reuters.com article. Last year, Facebook had a TikTok problem. This year, it has several. The Chinese-owned video app is eating Mark Zuckerberg's social network from the inside, first by luring its users and now by challenging Facebook as a news source too. So as I've mentioned many times before, TikTok, for whatever reason, was just beating up on Instagram. It's so interesting that Instagram rolled out Reels. They went really well. They were first to market as far as I can tell. Maybe you can correct me in the comments. YouTube.com/SendItRising. If you want to tell me anything that I'm saying is inaccurate, you go right ahead. TikTok.com/SendItRising if you want to see what we're doing there. But yeah, TikTok, being privately held, doesn't disclose their numbers, but they're doing very, very well. And they just ate Instagram's lunch for a while. And now Facebook trying to circle back. According to the article, one reason is content. Its videos are compelling enough that TikTok viewers send content creators quasi-cash gifts. In the first quarter, users doled out more than 840 million on TikTok, a record of any app or game. This reminds me, of course, of Twitch, where people receive gifts all the time in the form of bits and donations and subscriptions. Back to the article, a new threat is news. Last September, Zuckerberg's network was a regular news source for 31% of Americans versus just 6% for TikTok, according to Pew Research. But the invasion of Ukraine changed that. Views of hashtag Ukraine tagged posts grew from 6.4 billion on February 20th, to currently about 40 billion. And so TikTok could be a place where folks get news, and that would be a big, big hit for Facebook. The wars continue. Viral TikTok leads the GDOT changes on confusing 285 exit. This one from WSBTV.com. There is a TikToker who had a viral video that essentially got the local government to change their signage. So, quote, after a TikTok video of a woman complaining about a confusing exit on I-285 and Georgia 400 in North Fulton County went viral, the Georgia Department of Transportation has made some changes. Quote, literally, why is this the most complicated exit ever? It's 3 exits in one. If you miss it, good luck. You'll end up in Roswell. Don't understand. She can be heard saying in the viral video. Got almost 1 million views at 800,000. And there you go. Getting the attention. I just love that for the first time in human history, an individual can complain about something and we can see real change from it. You don't have to be an influencer for a post to go viral. I learned that. My sister, Chelsea Smith Cosmetics on TikTok, recently got her first million view post. Congratulations to her. And you can too. Another friend of mine, it's Of Counsel. I don't know if he shares his name on TikTok. He's doing very, very well. And he just put out his first TikTok, I want to say maybe 2 months ago. So get on Reels. That's the move. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. YouTube.com/SendItRising. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and a bunch of other podcast platforms. If you know anyone who needs a gorgeous WordPress website, we just developed a couple that would blow your mind. Our blogs are amazing. Everything we do at Send It Rising is incredible. I have the best staff in the world, and we are doing incredible things for businesses, getting the phone to ring, getting great return on their marketing investment. So if you have any marketing questions, info@senditrising.com. That's info@senditrising.com. And that is the show for today. Thank you so much for swinging on by. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.